G'day guys, MFWest here, and today we have some absolutely disgusting footage of Unholy Death Knights in one of my initially first BGs, well not first, but start of the expansion, Battlegrounds. And I know Battlegrounds is going to be a massive, massive area for people to flock to because of naturally how the PvP vendors are. Battlegrounds are back. Like Honor is a great way to get geared. I'll be making a video about how to get geared with the new PvP vendor and system. Absolutely amazing stuff. So you're going to be seeing a lot more people in Battlegrounds, and that is awesome. So I think being able to perform at a high level in Battlegrounds will just make your life easier, right? You're going to win more Battlegrounds, you're going to have more fun, you're going to show your mates how to absolutely dominate, and then the skills you can learn in Battlegrounds can somewhat transfer into arena gameplay as well. But let's get into the basics as to what builds, what kind of setup I am running for this. So, um, I guess the most important thing is talents, right? Talents. Now, not much has changed, guys. Honestly, it really hasn't. You can choose to be Clawing Shadows or Infected Claws here, either one or the other. I do think Infected Claws is very strong, coupled with Bursting Swords because of how Abomination Limb works. So you can actually throw down D&D, you can grip everyone in, and then you can start actually really effectively using Bursting Swords on multiple people. And Infector's Claws can spread the wounds to multiple targets, and as they're all clumped in on your D&D because of Abomination Limb, you're just going to absolutely go to freaking town with the wounds, okay? That is one setup. I do like to run this kind of Ebb and Fever Clawing Shadows build, so it's very I don't know. It does a lot of AoE pressure in Battlegrounds, and I love the ability to hit people from range. That's one of the main things. And Mastery, being one of our highest stats currently, does benefit Clawing Shadows a little bit. And remember, Clawing Shadows ignores armor, so that's also very important to note there. So, yep. Asphyxiate, no questions asked for BGs, you need to have that stun. Now here you have a choice between Soul Reaper and Pestilent Pistols. I do like having Soul Reaper because I do find myself executing people a lot. And remember, if you do kill them, you get Runic Corruption, so a good way to keep your runes rolling in combat. Go from one target to the next, similar to how warriors do with Execute. So yeah, I think that's really important. And Pistols is great as well, but I think Soul Reaper just fits my playstyle of moving from one target to the next, killing healers, making sure this also helps you get kill pressure on healers because it is an execute, right? So that's another big thing. I always run Death Pact just to have that extra heal for clutch situations to live, for dueling as well, very strong. There are no dampening effects in Battlegrounds, so Death Pact is perfect. Unholy Pact is so strong, guys. Holy shit. It is so strong. Yeah, I have nothing else to say but about the other two. It's a pretty much a no-brainer for us. Unholy Pact is very, very strong. Great damage and gives us a strength bonus as well. No complaints from me. Now the last row is interesting. So if you're going to go the Infected Claws and Bursting Swords build, I recommend you Unholy Assault, which will help you get that amount of wounds up and running straight away, instantaneously. Otherwise, I would recommend Army of the Damned for this Clawing Shadows Ebb and Fever build. You're going to be using Apocalypse a lot more, and that's just really good. And the main thing I say this is because you're going to be spamming Epidemic a little bit more with this build, so Epidemic now does reduce the cooldown of Apocalypse, so that's the reason for that. Now, PvP talents, really nothing has changed for us besides AMZ becoming baseline, and now we have this thing called Dome of Ancient Shadows, which increases the absorption effect of damage reduction effect of AMZ. And the Necrotic Strike is a no-no, guys. It's just doing trivial damage at the moment, and yeah, the Absorb is not powerful enough at this point in time. It needs a buff. Blizzard, thank you. So I usually go Life and Death here to help with my Virulent Plague spread, along with Abomination and Necrotic Aura to help out on that damage. I don't really change that in BGs. That's just what I like to go in BGs. It's pretty straightforward. If you were to go anything else, it'd be Utility, and if anything, I would swap out Life and Death for maybe Decomposing Aura, because we are up alive in these fights quite a long time. So, yeah. That would be the only change I'd make here, and it's worth an honorable mention that Unholy Blight is quite strong as well. I just prefer the Ebb and Fever at the moment, so you can alternate between all three, but I really recommend you try out the Infected Claws, Bursting Swords, and Unholy Assault build with Abomination Limb. Have some great fun with that, guys. Now, obviously, start of the expansion, so we haven't really got many different conduits and soulbinds to really choose from. You're going to be stuck with Plague Deviser Merilith, and I've chosen to go down here. So when you're below 50% HP, Ooze causes over you, granting you a shield for 15% of your maximum health, and this only can occur 30 seconds. It's a really nice bonus shield that you get every 30 seconds, and in a BG, that could mean life and death. So I like to run this kind of setup here, and I am running the Convocation of the Dead trait, but I am going to swap that out for Eternal Hunger. I might actually do that right now, to be honest. Yeah, I do think that currently Eternal Hunger is our strongest bind. It's going to be close. I need to fiddle around more with Eternal Hunger versus Convocation of the Dead, but hey, more Dark Transformation window means more kicks, which is just great for Arena. So you can already see my cogs turning in my brain. And minion damage. Minion damage is our highest damage on our breakdowns in BGs. Obviously, Epidemic and Virulent Plague, but our pets do a large amount of damage, so remember Abomination is included in that, so really, really big there, guys, for that's all we have to really go from. If anything, I would actually recommend this one as well. Your first attack or spell cast on an enemy, increase your damage done to them by 10%. That's also pretty decent in BGs. Especially if you're targeting the healer first up, which is what I always do. I always gun for the healers and get rid of them. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That is pretty much what I'm running. If you want to look at my gear, that's the only other thing. No more essences, none of that bullshit anymore, so awesome. I'm currently at 178 item level. I was lucky-ish in my Mythic Zeros. Managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of gear. That's okay. I did pick up a BOE item level 190 from questing. It just dropped, and I was like, heck yes. I'll take that, yoink. Didn't have to buy it, so really awesome there. And then I'm using the PvP trinkets to get that added set bonus, which is massive. I've got Mastery enchant, all stats, and I have to get a cloak enchant for my cloak. But otherwise, yeah. Generally for PvP guys, I recommend Verse and Mastery along with Haste. Everything but honestly crit. Crit's pretty average for us, but Verse, Mastery, and Haste are massive stats for us, so I'm at 40% Mastery. And in the clips, I am using this gear setup, so yeah, really, really awesome. Let's get straight into the clips, guys. Alrighty, here we go. Battlefield Grenades always has like a massive start to the actual BG. Sorry about that. And I love the start of Battlefield Grenades. It's always awesome. So watch how I play here. They've got a Mystery Healer and a Disprey. So I'm going to pretty much sit on the backline here. I'm going to pop Abomination Limb here on the river. And I'm just going to literally wreak havoc onto this Mystery. I kick him immediately. And he rolls away pretty much. So I swap to the Dispriest. I guess sorry, he's a Holy Priest. My bad. And he's going to instantly die. I'm doing 6k DPS, guys. 6k. I've done 120k damage in this fight. They're pretty much all dead. I've killed the one healer. I'm now soloing the other healer. It is such high impact. So I believe this guy comes back to life, or there's another healer in this BG. But I'm just pretty much rotating myself between the two healers and trying to keep my friends alive and doing as much damage as I can. But as you can see, I really do like to target down healers, make their lives miserable, because fights will end a lot faster when the healers are dead. So I'm sorry for this guy, and he's gonna get executed as well. So it's a great way to execute people, and you're just gonna see everyone rot down from this. And how I use the Abomination Limb there on the maximum amount of targets as possible for the damage is really important. You either use it for DPS potential, or you use it as a utility means for people to like see, oh, he's actually popping a major cooldown. They're going to be grouped together. Let me Infernal. Let me Leg Sweep. Let me do a Mass Fear. Try and look for opportunities to use your Abomination Limb to do the most you possibly can, guys. Okay, so we won the initial fight. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. This rotating, floating between the two. I do think as well, guys, one thing to add before we get into this. The Fleshcraft ability, I do not recommend using it at the start of the BG. You lose too much ground and time. I recommend using it after fights, in between nodes that you're traveling between nodes, in between flag caps, like just moments where no one's on you. There's no reason for you to be looking for people, and it's downtime. Don't use it at the start of a BG because those opening moments is very important. You could catch a healer a bit too far out, you can get a good grip. You lose those opportunities by using Fleshcraft at the beginning of the map. So find a hunter there, solo him, and we protect Lighthouse. Nothing too scary, to be honest. They do make a rotation back onto Waterworks here, guys. So I'm going back to Waterworks. They're spinning the flag, and boom, here we go into a 3v7 situation. So let's see how we go. I know Zoe is one of the healers, so I'm going to be prioritizing him down. I have Abomination Limb ready, and we're going to go for a big play here. They're all clumped. It's perfect opportunity for me to use Abomination Limb anywhere in this fight here. So let's see what I do. I do look to try and peel for our single healer that we have. So there's two healers, but at the back line there. But I choose to actually follow and stick onto the Mistweaver. So I haven't put Abomination Limb here, so I need to really. I think I might have actually overviewed that I had it up, because honestly, there was a really good opportunity for me to use it there. So really big. I pop it right here, and we're gonna do a massive amount of damage here onto 5 people. Doing a lot of damage here, gripping people off my healer, which is really good. You can use it defensively, guys. You don't have to only use it offensively. This priest gets hodged in his pain sup, and he is pretty much going to go down. So down he goes, and doing a shit ton of damage here. Now watch how low I get. My team actually starts dying, but I get some extremely big death strikes, and honestly, probably the reason this fight ends up in the way it does. So this Frost Decay, this 2-mana Frost Decay cannot execute me, and down he goes. Really big fight. That was their last massive push towards Waterworks. So winning that fight is massive. And as you can see, I was pretty much bouncing off the healers, and I got a pretty juicy Abomination Limb in the middle of that fight there, and gripped a few people off my healer. Remember, you can use it defensively. So yeah, really big, and that's what it is. Always going to be there for those big clutch fights. As you can see, 2-minute cooldown. I use Fleshcraft because it's downtime, and now onto the Lighthouse battle. Okay, so starting off onto the Mistweaver, I'm going to human racial that, and I'm going to move between these two here. The Hunter's popping barrage here, which is pretty funny. I grip onto each other, and the Mistweaver leg sweeps. Huge, huge, huge plays, guys. I get a 4-man leg sweep. Now watch what happens because of that. I get a North Stun into a kick onto the Disc Priest, and down he goes. And I'm going to clean up pretty much everyone after that Disc Priest is down, and move on to the Mistweaver here. So really clutch leg sweep from the Mistweaver to capitalize on that Abomination Limb there, and that just won us a fight. So I just did 4k DPS into that fight. Make sure you guys are watching the details meter on the side there. I'm absolutely having such a high impact. Like, Abomination Limb is a high impact ability, and you can see that it's winning fights. Like, it's single-handedly winning fights. I'm doing a lot of damage in these BGs as well, in these fights. It's not something to be laughing at. It's serious damage. Like, oh, if I go into 5 people and I can stay alive with my defensives, like, I will get everyone down to about 30 or 40%. It is a lot of damn, guys. A lot of damn. So here comes the third Waterworks fight. I actually get out the rogue here because he was too close to the warrior. He cloaks, so I'm making note of this. He cloaks. It really has nothing left. This Feral Druid has the hots for my Mistweaver here, and I'm going to pretty much take advantage of this rogue. He shadows, what's it called? Dancing, I guess the terminology is. And I know he has no cloak, so I'm going to end this man's life. Down he goes. They're really trying to push onto the Mistweaver here. He cocoons himself, and I think he's fine. I peel off the Feral Druid. I'm going to move on to the healers now that my Mistweaver is safe. Okay, so just making sure that I keep one of the only healers here alive. That's really important, guys. And moving on to the healers. Now I know there's no cocoon, so I choose to stay on top of this guy. Really massive Shadow Fury there from our team, and just watch. I Abomination Limb in 3 seconds here, and honestly, like, the fight's done. The fight's literally over. So really massive fights here, and down they go. And that is pretty much the game for them. Like, they never really have another massive fight on this BG. And I'm just really glad that I can show you guys this kind of footage, because this early on in the expansion, it's hard to see what a spec is capable of. And by all means, I think this is really pushing it and showing you guys how much damage I can do and what you yourself can do on Deathknight with the Maldraxxus Covenant abilities. Really amazing stuff, guys. Such a big fan of Abomination Limb and the aesthetics. Like, it looks amazing. So now I'm just floating between the two objectives. Nothing too crazy here. And I do believe there is one more fight back at Waterworks. Yep, so there's going to be one more fight here. Really good here. So again, focusing on the healers first and primarily. They're actually quite stacked here. He hodges, so I get a really juicy Abomination Limbs here, and I'm just going to focus on this priest, try and whittle him down. He is in Rapture, so it's hard. But me and the Affy are doing 4k DPS in this fight, and honestly, between my pet stun kicks and asphyxiate, this priest is not going to live. So now I move to the only healer left in the team. This Misfit probably hates me, guys. Like, I've been on him every single fight, same as the Disc Priest. Like, they're probably just like, screw this guy. He tries to Fleshcraft in my face, so I pet stun it, and he really is down to basically nothing. And he's just jumping up and down, because that's basically what he's trying to tell me there is, kill me. So I do. And down he goes. That's 1,700. That was a full team fight. They're all only dying or brezzing. That's pretty much the game. I'll make sure I will show you guys the end damage for the last, like, at the end of the BG, so you guys can see what kind of numbers I did in this Battlefield Gurneus, and if you can actually beat this level. I actually challenge you to do more damage than me in this BG itself, because I really think I popped off this BG. As you can see, guys, again, what I said earlier, I'm using my Fleshcraft ability in between fights when there's no reason for me to be anywhere. Really good use of it there. I do not recommend using it in combat, because if you get kicked, it is you're locked out of Shadow. So very important to note. You will not be able to Death Coil, Virulent Plague, and yeah, use abilities. So really be careful how you use it. That is going to be the end of the BG. Let me fast forward it to the end screen here. So you have me here on 647,000 damage, guys. I can't see how long the game went for, but it was pretty quick. No one really close to my damage, guys. I'm doing up to 3 people's worth of damage on the enemy team, and the killing blows were definitely there as well. So, and a juicy amount of healing, to be honest, guys. 114k healing there as well. So I really hope this video helped you choose Covenant if you are leveling a Death Knight or picking up a Death Knight. I hope it helps you. Please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. I want to grow this channel up, guys. Follow me on social media at MFWest WoW on Facebook and Twitter. Post any questions you have below in the comments, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Peace out and stay unholy. See ya.